Hey everyone, it's Moonlight Mason, and do ring the bell. Forget about subscribing because you've got to subscribe first before you ring the bell, but you got to ring the bell to get notified. Anyways, do that, and I hope you enjoy this video, which is going to be about Nikocado Avocado and Trisha Paytas and some drama that went down. If you want to spend some time with me, keep watching. Oh, God. Nikocado Avocado uploaded a very heartfelt video on what happened about 2 years ago with Trisha Paytas. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it below. Anyways, he talks about how she is a liar and she's manipulative and very calculating. And he talks about an experience that he had with her, like I said, about 2 years ago, in which they had these messages go back and forth about a collab. And what's really cool is that, I'll tell you the cool part, and I'll tell you what's really cool and what really needs still to be worked out. What's really cool is that he saved all of the receipts. Love that. I do the same. I've never deleted a message, and this will be important in a little bit, where I share with you a little bit of what happened to me at around the same time. But yeah, so he showed his receipts, and the way he did it, with her videos, and then contradicting, like she's talking to Peter Mon, and Peter Mon's like totally believing everything that she's saying, which just goes to show you have to be really careful, because people can lie to you. People can have different personalities and not remember what the other personality said. There's a lot of different variables, but that can happen, so that when people deny, no, I never said that. Trisha Paytas specifically said, I never agreed to a collab. I don't watch his videos. All of these things that she was saying during different videos that she had made about Nick, and he just came and kept showing the receipts and showing what a lie it was in what she was saying. Now, the first thing that's really cool about it is, like I said, he showed the receipts, and number two, I guess it was his husband that contacted her for a cameo, and that's what started this whole thing. And she started the cameo for Nikocado Avocado, kind of like mocking him a little bit and going hee and all that stuff. And then she did say something about, I don't remember what happened 2 years ago. And then she goes on, and towards the end she says, I don't have nothing against him, I like him, and it's all just a bunch of lies, because she doesn't even know what she's talking about, right? Because Nick has all of the receipts, and many of you guys are wondering, is Trisha Paytas going to respond to this? How can she respond? Only one way Trisha Paytas can respond, and I don't think that would ever come from her. And the only way that she can respond to this is to say, you know what? I seriously don't remember that, or say something like, yes, that was happening, but at the same time, I was going through all this stuff with Sean, which looks like it was true, because Nick said, he said, I'm sorry 2 years ago when he was texting her, I'm sorry, I hope you heal soon, in regards to the Sean drama that she was going through. So I think that all that is good that it came out and he shared that with all of us, because it does shed light on the truth of character and who a person is. But it really doesn't mean that Trisha is calculating, manipulative, and lying. It could seriously be, you guys, that she doesn't remember. Listen, when you have different personalities, you don't remember what the other person did, what the other person said, how the other person acted, even though it comes from you, because you have all of these different personalities, right? And that's just something that I'm saying. It's not something I don't think she's ever, well, she said she had borderline personality disorder. That's the other thing. I mean, if I was a computer whiz, with all the stuff that's just come out about Trisha Paytas saying, I never said that I've never been diagnosed with anything. That's what she's saying now. Well, if that's the truth, then when she said that she was, or that she had been diagnosed on many other videos, that I wish I was savvy enough to give you clips right now, when she said that, then was she lying then, or is she lying now? Or does she even really know? A lot of people who have emotional and mental challenges don't know, don't remember. And that's the truth. So, maybe she did do these things on purpose, and maybe she didn't. Maybe she got all wrapped up with the Sean drama and she could only see what's in front of her. If I have made a commitment to you and I say that you and I are going to meet up, listen, you don't need to call me, just even one time and say, do you remember we said we're going to meet up? Because the only way that I would not let you know if something came up and I couldn't meet with you is if I was oh my God, if I was in a stretcher, going to in an ambulance, and I wasn't able to speak. That's the only way. I'm not made like that. I will always let you know what's going on. But with other people, it's different. What's not so cool about this, and just in general for everyone to learn, is that if something happened to you 6 months ago, a year ago, or longer, in your past, and when you talk about it, like Shannon Rose shared some very, something very traumatic that happened to her in a video today, and she actually broke down and started crying. And when this situation happened to her, it was years and years and years ago. So that happens to a lot of us, right? We share something that happened 6 months ago or years and years ago, and you have that emotion come up and you start crying. Okay, I can understand if that's grief from a death of a loved one, but anything else, like anything really horrible and anything else, takes years and years and years to get closure, to come to peace with it. And if you have an emotion that's being triggered by something that happened years and years and years ago, that is a sign that you haven't completely healed that situation. You haven't completely dealt with that shadow. And as long as you haven't completely dealt with it, it does shade your lens that you perceive events and situations. It really does, especially if they're of the like, if it's the same thing that happened, but it's happening in a different circumstance. That's why a lot of relationships don't work out, is because someone is reacting to someone as if they were their ex-husband. Oh, well, when my ex-husband used to say this or used to do that, he used to do this. Well, this is a different person. Do you understand where I'm going with this? So that's the not so cool thing, but it could be looked at as a cool thing, because maybe Nikocado Avocado will see this and say, you know what? Let me try to get some closure on this, and maybe even go to counseling, because this hurt him and I saw his pain. So much pain going on right now, but I mean, I recognized his pain about this whole situation. And what's interesting is about the same time that this happened, and I'm not sure, somebody let me know if when Trisha went through that breakup with Sean, was it around February? I'm not sure, but because my birthday is on February, and that's how I remember this situation that I went through, that kind of is a little, not even, I mean, it's a little similar to Nick's, but not, not to that point, because it's not like I had to, take a plane somewhere or anything like that, but it was my birthday. And I and this other individual we're in the same group. We were in a Facebook group, and I stated something, and she came back, and it was about YouTube, and she is a YouTuber, and she came back and she said, I have no idea, what you're talking about. And then when I went into further to explain to her what I was talking about, she stated to me, yeah, I'm actually a friend, or I'm an acquaintance, or I know, or I knew, okay, because I don't remember. I do have the text messages, all right, because I don't delete anything. She said, I actually know or knew or was acquaintance to Trisha Paytas, and there's a lot that you don't know. That's what she told me. And so one text led to another text, and soon her and I, because we did get each other's phone numbers, and they were text messages after they went from DMs to text messages, we decided to meet for lunch. It was the same thing like Nick. There was a day, there was no time, and there was kind of a place. So the agreement that this girl and I had to meet for lunch was, she lives about an hour and a half from where I live. So we agreed to meet halfway, or I even suggested I don't mind going over to where you're at, because she lives in a pretty cool place and I hadn't explored that part yet, and part of LA yet. And I said, I could even go there and meet you there. And she said, yes. And I said, when are you free? And she said, next week. Sound familiar? And I said, okay. I said, or she said, one of us said, how about, a day? And let's say it was Thursday. Okay. My birthday's on February 5th. So it was on February 5th. It was my birthday. And I told her, it's my birthday. I don't really have anyone, to hang out with or nothing to do. So let's just meet, can you meet on that day? And she said, yeah. And I thought, oh, that's great. I'll have someone to go to lunch with for my birthday, and we can talk about a lot of different things. And she has some merch. And she said, you know what, I'm going to bring you, some of this and some of that, because I don't have any of her merch. And then I had said, okay. I woke up that morning, and we had just texted like the night before. I have it all, but I don't want to expose her because it's really not that big of a deal. As you can see, I'm not getting upset about it. I'm not crying about it, okay? I'm sharing with you that on my birthday, 2 years ago or whenever it was, I got dressed, I put on my makeup, I chose something cute to wear because she is so beautiful. This girl is so beautiful. She's so thin. She's just gorgeous. And I think, oh my God, and she's a YouTuber and she's really got, a big following. And I'm like, what am I going to wear? I'm just like, I just have like regular, I don't know, what am I going to wear? I was all nervous and I was excited about meeting her and getting some more tea on Trisha, and also getting some of her merch and meeting her. And anyways, I got to be careful with what I say. And so the day came, I did all that, and it was getting to be like 10:15, 10:30, and we did say lunch, and I didn't hear from her. And so I texted her and I said, do we have a place? Do you know of a certain place? Or do you want to meet around noon or 12:30? I think we had agreed to noon or 12:30. I think there was a time agreement as well. Bottom line, never heard from her again. Actually, that's not true. I didn't hear from her for a long, long time. And then she made some video and I commented on it or something like that, and she actually texted me again some other time, and she said, hey, let's get together and do that lunch that we talked about. And I never responded back to her. And I just let it go. That hurt me. That hurt me. My fault, I know, but it hurt me because every time it's my birthday, I usually get hurt. And part of that reason is because it's taken me a long, long time to realize that I can make my own birthday party, that I can throw my own birthday party, like Trisha does, and you can create your own. When I grew up, it wasn't like that. It's like, you just wait and other people get you the cake and other people give you a surprise birthday party and other people do this for you, your friends and your family. You do not give yourself a birthday party and pay for everybody. That just doesn't make any sense to me even now. When I've met friends for lunch for my birthday, one of them will usually say, let me get your lunch, because that's just the right thing to do. The last time I met some friends, it didn't really go that well because, it was my birthday. First of all, cards, a little something. It just means a lot when it's your birthday and you don't have children, you don't have a mom and dad, you don't really have anyone to look at you and say, happy birthday, I appreciate you. Here's a cake, even people I say, just a cupcake will work for me. Just give me a cupcake with one candle, just to be recognized that it's your birthday. Now I feel a little sentimental. It has nothing to do with that happened 2 years ago. It's just in general, because this is still ongoing in my life. Every time it's my birthday, I feel like dread because I know that nothing may happen. All right, that was just a side note. Sorry about that. But what I wanted to share is that, when Nick Avocado shared this, it's just maybe a sign to him that he still needs closure, and he's not going to get it from Trisha Paytas because, like I said, what is she supposed to do, or what can she do? And what she can do is talk about how she messed up, how she didn't keep her word. You just talk about it and put it out there. But instead, the way she deals with it is for her benefit. And she's not thinking about Nick Avocado that needs closure, that he needs something. Actually, many people on the internet right now are kind of waiting for Trisha's response to his video, and I'm telling you, you're not going to get one, because she has never been, well, she might get there, but she's never grown to the point where she can say, you know what, you guys, in this specific situation, specifically with Nikocado Avocado, when I said I didn't do this and I didn't get the messages and I don't know who he is and I don't watch his videos, and then it's contradicted by her own DMs, it's contradicted by her own words that she speaks on video to other people. It just, you don't know what to believe. So this morning, if you're not aware, she woke up this morning and she was just, I don't know where she was. She was on some other planet, because she starts talking about how can I gain clout. And then she starts like DMing or tweeting, at David Dobrik, at H3H3, at everyone, can I be on your podcast? You know what? That is the sign of a crazy person. Even if to her, she thinks this is funny. This is not, or this is, like it's funny, I don't know what she's thinking. Like she's teasing, or, can I be on your podcast? She said to H3H3, and he said something like, before my wife divorces me or after. And let me tell you something. A lot of people who have less subscribers than her, or a smaller channel, would jump on the opportunity regardless of the message that it sends, right? The message that, you can call me, those names, and that she called Ethan. She called him a lot of names. She was so angry. She said all these things. And then the next day she's like, can we collab on a podcast? Can I come and be on your podcast? You and your wife are so cute. So what are we supposed to think about her? And then she tweeted just the other day, people say I'm crazy, or people say this about me and that about me. And even when she was doing the assumptions video, when she was talking about I was watching it, and a lot of the stuff, if you guys want me to do some kind of reaction video like I did last time, just let me know in the comments below, because a lot of the things that she says are lies. And you have to understand, to you and me, they're contradictions. To her, in her mind, she might be coming from a different place. Like this morning when she woke up and she's talking about, I don't know, there was even a sexual innuendo in there or something about, I don't know, about her being, I can't, all this HORNY and all this stuff she was talking about. And it just shows, it's there to show us what a mental and emotional imbalance looks like. That's what it looks like. So if you have anyone in your life other than someone like Trisha Paytas, which is on social media, and it's a choice that we all make to watch her, to engage with her, including myself, it's a choice. But you guys you have to understand, I'm grown. I'm like, I really do believe, and I know that it's not true, right? Just like, but I believe that I'm the most well-balanced person I know. I believe that. And it might not be true, right? But those are my thoughts because I see so much imbalance in one way or another around me from people and the things that they say and the things that they do and how they act. But you're on social media, so when you see these things, be careful. Know that this is that person's perception. So let's be careful when we call Trisha, oh, she's a liar, she's manipulative, she's that, and she's this. That's how we're seeing it. To us, I'm saying us, because I see the same things you guys see. That's what we see. That's our reality. But to her, right? She may not. What if she really doesn't remember Nikocado Avocado and what she did? What if she, and even when, see, this is what happened. Even when he showed the receipts, and the receipts were the strongest receipts you've ever seen, and you know that on social media. Him showing her actual videos. Him proving without a doubt that she has contradicted herself again and again and again, just in this specific situation. Doesn't it show you that maybe, possibly, she doesn't know? Maybe she doesn't know. That doesn't mean she's innocent. It doesn't mean she's innocent. It doesn't mean that, you should, forgive her. It doesn't mean anything other than being aware that people have different realities in their head. And that sometimes these realities that are in their head, like the reality that's in Trisha Paytas' head. Did you hear her the other day talk about the two voices in her head? Did you hear her? She said one is fantasy and the other is something, she said evil and devil and all that, I made a video on that. The two voices in Trisha Paytas' head. And she just talked about that. I can link that video at the end, but I did make a video about that. So we need to understand that these people like her who exist in a different reality, you just have to be careful. That's all. If you happen to be in her life, right? And like Shane and like Gigi Gorgeous and like the Gettys and like, this guy Adam, just love her, be present, but be careful, because you know that before you being on her payroll or before you being her friend, there were others that she bought gifts for, that she loved, and then something happened, and it may have been something minor, right? But in her mind, it's major, and then she will socially berate you. She'll socially say horrible things about you. And then she'll say, I'll never do that again, like what she did with David and Jason and all that. And then she did it again with H3 Productions with Ethan. She said some horrible things to him. You know what I'm saying? And so just be careful. That's all I'm saying. And not just about Trisha. Just be careful with everyone that's in your life. Just be aware. And mostly be aware of yourself. Make sure that you stay as balanced as you can, because it's not funny. It is not funny to play with mental illness, because the truth is, there is dementia. There are many diseases out there that we may think affect only certain people, like the elderly, or, remember diabetes? Children never used to have diabetes. So these things will come to fruition in your life if you don't check yourself and balance yourself. And the easiest way to check yourself is when something happens and you realize, oh my God, I can't believe I said that, or I did that, or whatever, that you address it. That is the easiest way. Check and balance yourself. You address it to that person. You address it to yourself. You address it with your therapist. You can say, I don't know why I did this in the first place, or I did this, right? Trisha can say, I did those things because I was with Sean, and then, in her mind, may or may not be true, he's gay and he cheated, right? In her mind. And then she had an explosion, and how could she possibly consider someone else's feelings, and someone else that just flew from Australia all the way to LA with the hopes, right? With gifts that he came for her to do a collab. But no, she's narcissistic and so into her world. She's a narcissist. She is. This is what she is. That's my opinion, okay? But she's so into her world that she doesn't see, oh, you know what? I got to take care of this person over here. This person over here that I've led to believe something. But that's not as important as what's happening right now to me. Me. And that is why other people like you and me get hurt. And that is why Trisha Paytas is so distraught in her life, is because these contradictions keep coming up. And instead of her going to the therapist and saying, I did this with Nick Avocado, he did this video where he proved all the receipts that I did this. And you know what? I really don't know what to do right now. I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know what to say. I just don't know, because the truth is, I don't really remember that. Maybe I wasn't, whatever it is. You have to admit your weaknesses. We're all weak. We all have flaws. I'm not just like some superhuman. I have all kinds of flaws. But I'll admit them. I'll say I'm sorry to my brother if I lash out on him. I'll say I'm sorry to myself if I keep drinking coffee every day when I know that it makes my boobs hurt, because it does. Anyways, you guys, I had to come back on here and make this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. Let's be kind and have compassion for others who have less marbles than we do. All right? I'll see you in my next video. Bye.